And now you're asking them to stop the young phenomenon in one of the best offenses in the league. Guys, I give those chances slim to none. And Slim is out of town. Welcome to Pigskin Passion TV. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba. It's season 2, episode number 78. And guys, we back. We back for another week of Survivor. And guys, if you've been out here in these Survivor streets, you know the first 5 weeks we've been in the back alleys going hard. Like, it's been nothing but brawls going, and it's been a lot of casualties, guys. But this past week, it was quiet. It was quiet in that back alley this week. Everybody went out and did exactly what they were supposed to do. They handled business. And it took long enough, but I'm glad it finally happened, guys. And hopefully the same thing is going to happen this week. And with that said, let's jump into some of these picks. And before I get started on my picks, let me just give you the game that I plan to stay away from this week. And that would be the Jacksonville Big Jags against the New England Patriots. The Patriots are probably one of the worst teams in the league, but Jacksonville is not far behind, guys. And they're favored by 5 points. I don't understand that, but hey, I guess the odd makers, they know what they're doing. Jacksonville, it seems like every quarterback that plays against this defense has a big day. And it was no different last week with Caleb Williams. He looked like a mid-rookie quarterback until last week. Last week, he looked like he went in the booth and he put on his cape and came out Superman USC Caleb Williams because he was tossing it all around the yard, and Jacksonville didn't have no answer for him. In addition to that, another reason to stay away from this game, guys, is rain is expected in this game, and this game is being played out of the country, so it could very well be like one of those soccer games where those guys are out there sliding around. I don't know what those fields are like, but it's just probably a game to just stay away from, because when you add rain into the mix of two bad teams, you don't know what's going to come out of that. So let's jump into the good picks for the week. And I recommend you stay away from Jacksonville, but if you want to be risky, Indianapolis Colts versus the Miami Dolphins, I like Indy in this game. And I think the X factor will be Tyler Huntley and how he will play. So far this year, only bad Tyler has showed up to these games, guys. He hasn't looked very good, and it's reflecting in the offense. They can't put any points on the board. So based on that, that's all I have to go off is bad Tyler's going to show up. And I think Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor are expected to maybe play this game. And if that happens, it should add a boost to the Colts. And my number 3 pick is the Buffalo Bills versus the Tennessee Titans. Buffalo's the biggest favorite on the board this week against a pretty bad, and I mean pretty bad, Tennessee Titan offense. Last week, Tennessee played against a banged-up Indianapolis Colts team, and they couldn't even ink out a win. Now, you can run the ball on Buffalo, but if you don't have to respect the pass, then you can just stack the box, and I think that's what Buffalo will do this week. The major worry I would have on this game would be simply is Buffalo is coming off of a short week. But they've added some firepower to the team in Amari Cooper. They got him in a trade from Cleveland this week, and that should beef up their wide receiver room. But if you want to save them, there are 2 other weeks that look good on their schedule, and that's weeks 9 and 16. In those weeks, they're going to be playing the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots. Next up at number 2 is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Los Angeles Raiders. And the Rams is probably a team that no one has picked in Survivor up until this point. And I think the Raiders have potentially given up on their season. They traded away Devontae Adams this week to the New York Jets. And the Rams, they are possibly getting back Cooper Kupp. Another cool fact is the Raiders have lost by double digits to the Los Angeles Chargers, Carolina Panthers, the Denver Broncos, and my Pittsburgh Steelers last week. And I think this Raiders offense is going to continue to sputter. And this is probably the only opportunity you're going to have to pick the Rams. So if you want to save some of those good picks, this is the week to go with an off team that no one's probably going to be picking a whole lot. And my number 1 pick for this week is the Washington Commanders versus the Carolina Panthers. Last week, I went against them. And this week, I like them. I like the Washington Commanders this week. They lost last week, but they were impressive in that loss against Baltimore. I mean, I never really thought they had a chance to win it, but they were hanging in there. And so far, they've been a surprise team on my list this year as far as teams that I didn't expect to do good that are actually looking really, really good this year. The Carolina Panthers, they've allowed 3 touchdowns in every game this year, and at least 4 touchdowns in 3 straight games, should I say. The Atlanta Falcons just lived in the red zone against them last week. And really and truly, guys, it doesn't even matter how much Carolina's offense, how many points they can put on the board, because that defense is like running water. And now you're asking them to stop the young phenomenon in one of the best offenses in the league. Guys, I give those chances slim to none. And Slim is out of town. So with that said, guys, those are my Survivor picks this week. And let's jump into my actual picks. So in this league, I will go with Washington. I went with Baltimore last week, so I like Washington this week in this league. And in this league, we still have, I don't think anyone lost last week. Everybody should have been able to win last week. Last week was an easy week. Then again, well, only one person lost. This guy went out and picked the New York Giants. I don't really blame him for doing that because Cincinnati, they hadn't been able to beat anybody this year. So, I mean, it was really a kind of a close game. So I don't blame that guy for going out and getting the Giants, even though they were a lot better picks. So now there are still 35 people in the league, but now it's 6 people. I think it's 6 people. Yes, 6 people without a strike. So I guess he was taking a big risk, being that he didn't have any strikes. He wanted to get a team that was not on everybody's radar so he could beef up the rest of his pick. It kind of backfired on him. And in my big league, I went with Atlanta last week. And my buddy here, he went with Philly. So we both were able to eke out a win. And I'm going to change this pick here, guys. I had Washington as my pick, but if I'm going with Washington in the other league, I don't want to get wiped out in case something bad happens. So I'm going to change that to the Los Angeles Rams. Let's go with the Rams in this league. So I'm changing here on live, guys. And let's see. Let's go back. So let's see. All right. So now we have the Los Angeles Rams. And those are my picks. So, guys, there you have it. And hopefully this week is just as good as last week. And it's a quiet week in the back alley, guys. And do me a favor, guys. Spike that like. comment, subscribe. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba, out.